Today, on 11th September, Archangel Michael says, a bank executive is investigating your bank account because a huge miracle check was deposited in your name. Wait until you see who sent it. Today is no ordinary day. The heavens have marked the 11th of September as a day of divine surveillance, a day of sacred transaction, a day when what was once hidden is suddenly brought under holy review. There is movement in the realm of the unseen. There is documentation in the courts of heaven. A great deposit has been made, and it bears your name. Archangel Michael, guardian of divine justice and heavenly order, comes forth today with urgency in his voice and a scroll in his hand. He says, pay attention. Your name has entered a realm of review, not for judgment, but for release. There is an executive in the spirit, a watcher, a holy inspector, assigned to verify something deposited into your spiritual account. This is not symbolic. This is not poetic. This is spiritual truth unfolding in real time. A divine miracle check has already been written, already deposited, and now it is under investigation. Why? Because of its size, because of its significance, because this is not a typical blessing. This is not a casual gift. This is something so weighty, so supernatural, that it has triggered an alert in both realms, the heavenly and the earthly. But hear this clearly, this word is not for everyone. This is not a message for the lukewarm, the distracted, or the indifferent. This is a targeted message for the ones who have been faithfully waiting, the ones who have labored in silence, the ones who have obeyed when it made no sense, who have prayed when the heavens seemed quiet, and who have stayed still when every part of them wanted to run. If that is you, this is your confirmation. You are not being ignored. You are being watched. Not by enemies only, but by heaven itself. The condition now is stillness. The instruction is clarity. Don't move before you're told. Don't react before the revelation. This is a divine investigation, not a delay. The miracle is already yours, but heaven is protecting it before releasing it. The angels are securing your portion before it reaches your hand. Stay obedient. Stay patient. Stay alert. Because what's coming will leave you speechless. And when you see who sent it, you'll know that only God could have written your name in such favor. Type I receive this in the comments if this word has stirred your spirit. Blessing code 911 is now covering your name. Archangel Michael says this message is urgent, and it carries your name. This is not a general announcement. This is not a casual word sent into the wind. No, this is a spiritual dispatch, sealed by the fire of heaven, delivered through divine protocol, and it has landed with precision at your feet. Archangel Michael stands as the messenger, not just of war, but of order, of warning, and of breakthrough. And he is speaking with authority today. Do not ignore this moment. The time is now. The hour is active. The record is live. Today, not tomorrow. This very day, this very date, September 11th, your spiritual ledger is under divine review. Heaven is no longer in delay mode. Heaven is in release mode. The systems of man may falter. The courts of earth may delay. But the courts of heaven, they are fully awake, fully aligned, fully engaged. Something you prayed for, something you fasted for, something you believed for in private. It has just hit the approval line in the divine bank of heaven. And now, hear this vision. A divine check. Large. Unmistakable. Supernatural. Signed in heavenly ink, deposited without human hand, yet it bears your name, your full name, because this miracle was designed with your obedience in mind. It is so large, so impossible, so beyond the scope of what you thought you qualified for, that even the spiritual infrastructure of Earth is reviewing it. That's why the bank executive has stepped in. This is not a human banker. This is a metaphor from heaven. A watching angel assigned to ensure that this kind of deposit reaches the right hands and does not fall into the wrong ones. You've been waiting, but now, the miracle is waiting on you. It is sitting in review, not because you aren't worthy, but because what is being deposited carries generational weight. You're not just cashing in a prayer, you are inheriting a promise. That's why it must be reviewed with care. That's why the realm is alert. But hear this in the spirit. This message is not for everyone. Many will scroll past it. Many will hear but never listen. Many will feel the stir but won't respond. But you, yes, you, feel this in your chest. You feel the tremble in your spirit. You feel the pull in your belly. You are not just hearing this, you're being summoned by it. You are the remnant, the reserved, the marked. You are the one God has preserved in silence and obedience, and now the silence is breaking with announcement. The heavens are leading in. The scrolls are being unsealed, and the miracle check with your name is now in open review. So still your heart. Silence the noise. Let every distraction bow. This is not a moment to panic. This is a moment to perceive. Your name is written. Your account is active. Your access is about to be revealed. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if this word is resonating in your spirit. Blessing code 717 has now been activated over your life. They are watching your accounts, both earthly and spiritual. You felt it, haven't you? That strange tension in the atmosphere. The discomfort in your spirit. The uneasiness that creeps in during moments of quiet. Something, where someone, has been paying attention to your steps, your prayers, your obedience. There's an alert in the realm of the unseen. Your accounts have triggered surveillance. This is more than just a feeling. It's not paranoia. It's not imagination. It's discernment. You've sensed it without evidence. You've felt eyes on you, not just people but spirits. A stirring that something sacred is being reviewed. And you are correct. Because the miracle that was deposited in your name has not gone unnoticed. A check of divine origin, a breakthrough so profound, so massive, so unmistakable, has been deposited under your identity. And while it sits in spiritual escrow, the enemy is growing restless. Those around you can't explain it, but they sense it. Some have become strangely distant, some unusually curious, some smiling while secretly watching. Why? Because even in silence, your shift is echoing. Your restlessness lately, that emotional pressure, a sudden burst of anxiety or feeling of being observed even when no one is near. That's not coincidence. That's spiritual disruption. Heaven's transaction has stirred hell's reaction. What was done in the spirit is manifesting in the natural, and the enemy is trying to intercept what cannot be stopped. You've walked through a season of hiddenness, but what was hidden is now under heavenly spotlight. And that spotlight has drawn spiritual attention. You feel it. You see it in the way people look at you without knowing why. You hear it in the conversations that suddenly change when you walk in. You feel it in the atmosphere that shifts around your presence. You are being watched, not because you did something wrong, but because God did something right on your behalf. But here is the mystery. You don't yet know who sent this miracle. You've prayed. You've asked. But heaven has been silent about the sender. That's intentional. God is concealing the hand for now so that you don't idolize the vessel, only the source. The sender is coming. The identity will be revealed, but only when the timing is right. For now, you wait while the investigation continues, not an investigation of doubt, but of preservation. Heaven is ensuring that no demonic hands touch what was deposited for your destiny. That's why there's been tension in the atmosphere. That's why your emotions have felt out of place. You're sensing the spiritual monitoring of a divine transfer. The deposit is too heavy for casual access. This miracle is marked by divine intelligence, and spiritual surveillance is the sign that you're next in line. Do not fear the watch. Do not resent the discomfort. It is confirmation. It is evidence. It is proof. You are not forgotten. You are protected. And when the sender is revealed, it will make sense why the warfare increased. Because what's coming isn't just a check, it's a spiritual seal. Type "I am watched by heaven" in the comments if you feel this word confirming your spirit. Lesson code 5555 is now activated around your identity. There's a reason this message reached your screen today, because heaven is releasing mysteries, and someone needs to hear it before they give up. If this prophetic word stirred your soul, consider becoming part of this divine assignment. Your support doesn't just fund a video. It ignites revelation, reaches hungry hearts, and sows into eternal harvests. When you give, whether through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into spiritual soil, and the oil flows from your obedience. Like the widow who released her last and received forever, so too does God honor those who help carry His voice forward. I heard the Lord say, "When you sow into my word, I sow into your future." You're not just donating, you're activating. You're not just clicking, you're stepping into alignment with the prophetic. Support this mission and watch how heaven supports you. Release your seed now. Don't delay. This is sacred ground. Support now. The heavens are watching. Do not mistake divine delay for denial. What you're experiencing is not blockage, it is protection. This investigation, this moment of silence, this watchful stillness over your miracle check is not an attack. It is warfare with purpose. What you feel as resistance is actually a refining fire. What appears as interference is actually heaven filtering access. The spirit realm is not punishing you, it is protecting you from premature possession. Because not all elevation is safe unless it is spiritually guarded. Hear this now. You are in a holy war for your release. The enemy is circling your account, not because he has access to it, but because he recognizes what's been deposited. There are forces whispering in the dark, trying to find legal grounds to question the miracle check written in your name. They're presenting old failures, past sins, moments of weakness, not because God needs reminding, but because the accuser of the brethren is terrified of what happens if this breakthrough clears. This is the courtroom of the Spirit, and you are on trial for favor. But here's the good news. The judge is your Father. The advocate is Christ. And the warrior standing guard at the vault of your destiny is Archangel Michael himself. Nothing gets past him. No force, no scheme, no word curse, no generational bondage. He is standing at the gate of your blessing saying, "You will not touch what belongs to the chosen." That's why the pressure has increased. That's why the atmosphere has felt heavier. It is not just spiritual warfare. It is spiritual surveillance. Your life is under watch because your destiny is under release. The enemy cannot stop what God has authorized, but he will attempt to delay, distract, and discourage. He wants you to disqualify yourself in frustration. He wants you to curse the promise before it arrives. But don't. Don't move out of position. Don't let your emotions override your obedience. Because you're not being attacked, you're being observed. You are a carrier of divine currency, and that makes you a target. But let me remind you, he who watches over you does not slumber. Your spiritual account is guarded by angelic forces. Your deposit is marked with heaven's seal. And this investigation is not to decide if you're worthy, it's to prove the enemy wrong one more time. Yes, there are forces questioning your promise, but they have no power to reverse the decision of heaven. They cannot void the check. They cannot erase the signature. They cannot close your account. They can only delay. And even that delay is allowed only so that you can grow in stillness, so that your faith can be proven pure. Because God isn't just giving you a miracle, He's preparing you to steward it with wisdom, with holiness, with strength. Your waiting is warfare. Your silence is strategy. Your stillness is a weapon. You are not missing out. You are being refined for impact. What's under investigation is not whether the check was real. It's how much more will be released when you pass this test. Your destiny is under surveillance because your anointing is undeniable. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. So let them watch. Let the gates of hell observe. Let the whispers speak, because none of them can override the final signature of God. Your name is on the scroll. Your release is coming. Your account is being activated in due time. Type "I am protected in warfare" in the comments if you are still standing in faith. Blessing code 0007 is surrounding your atmosphere now. Archangel Michael says, someone is already moving to interfere. While you wait, while you pray, while you remain still in obedience, there are forces moving in the background. There is a spirit of sabotage that has picked up your scent. There is a person, a system, or even an institution that has unknowingly been activated by the adversary. They do not understand what they are sensing, but they are responding to it anyway. There is an unusual motion rising against your name. You may not see it with the eyes of flesh, but in the spirit, heaven is watching, and heaven has issued a warning. Do not take this moment lightly. The enemy has picked up on the weight of the miracle that was deposited. He does not know the full details. He does not know the amount. He does not know the sender. But he knows one thing: it's real. And because of that, he's sending a counterfeit interference. He's whispering into the ears of watchers, activating old enemies, stirring doubt in close circles, and provoking sudden storms. all with one goal: to make you act too soon. Archangel Michael says, hold your position. Do not engage prematurely. Do not try to prove anything. Do not try to fight this in the natural. The interference has been allowed only to test your alignment. You see, spiritual interference is often permitted when you are near divine inheritance. Not to break you, but to prove you. Not to scare you, but to sanctify you. This is not your battle. This is not your courtroom. This is not your confrontation to handle. Heaven is moving, and your job is to stay still. Within 72 hours, something will begin to shift. You may feel it in your emotions. You may hear it in a conversation. You may see it in an unexpected message, document, or digital confirmation. Do not dismiss it. That small sign is heaven whispering, I have not forgotten what I promised you. And while you may still feel the tension of the weight, know this: the hourglass is almost empty. The countdown has begun. The pressure is not random, it's a prelude. But here's the mystery that still remains. The sender of this check has not yet been revealed. You've speculated. You've imagined. You've tried to connect the dots. What heaven has kept it hidden. Why? Because this miracle is coming through an unexpected vessel. A kind you wouldn't have looked for. The kind you might have overlooked. The kind that makes you say, only God could have arranged this. That is why the pressure is intensifying. Because the enemy cannot stop the release. He's trying to stir confusion before the revelation. Don't fall for it. You must understand that this kind of check, the kind that shifts bloodlines, breaks curses, and redefines identity, comes with resistance. But resistance is not your cue to retreat. It is your sign to anchor deeper. The angels are not late. The timing is not off. The warfare is not a sign of rejection. It is a sign of near release. So let them talk. Let them plot. Let them move. Their motion is not greater than God's signature. The miracle has already cleared in the spirit. Now it's being walked down into your reality, and every second counts. Stay sharp. Stay consecrated. Stay clean. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. Type I will not move prematurely in the comments if you're committed to divine timing. Blessing code 7227 is now released over your decisions. We still. You not fight this in the flesh. This is the divine instruction now echoing through the corridors of heaven. Archangel Michael, commander of celestial armies, has drawn his sword not to call you to war, but to call you to rest. There is a battle taking place, yes, but not one you are called to fight. This moment requires discipline. It requires quiet. It requires restraint. The kind of restraint that doesn't come from weakness, but from knowing exactly who fights for you. Because what's happening behind the veil is sacred. Angels are moving. Orders are being executed. The check that was deposited under your name is under heavy angelic security. It is not being held back. It is being protected from intersection. And the greatest threat to that protection right now is not a demon or a person. It is your own reaction. That's why heaven says, stay still. Let your silence speak louder than your strategy. There is a temptation rising in the spirit, a temptation to explain yourself, to defend yourself, to announce prematurely what God has only begun to unfold. Don't. This is not your time to announce. This is your time to align. You are not being silenced. You are being shielded. Your miracle is not being delayed. It is being defended. And your posture in this moment is the greatest weapon you have. Do not fight this battle in the court of opinions. Do not seek validation from voices that don't carry spiritual authority. Do not try to decode everything with human logic, because what's happening now is spiritually encrypted. It's divine. It's holy. It's beyond human understanding. And if you try to handle it in your flesh, you will disrupt what heaven is finalizing in your spirit. Instead, choose stillness. Choose reverence. Choose sacred quiet. Because stillness in moments of warfare is not weakness. It's wisdom. When the waters of your life are being stirred, it's not the time to jump in recklessly. It's the time to let the hand of the Lord part them on your behalf. Heaven is not looking for your defense. Heaven is looking for your surrender. You don't need to respond to every challenge. You don't need to answer every attack. You don't need to prove yourself to those who doubt what's being done in your life. Because when the miracle arrives, when the check clears and the sender is revealed, your silence will have spoken louder than 1,000 arguments. So how do you protect this miracle? By protecting your posture. By covering your words. By surrounding your space with worship and prayer instead of opinion and reaction. The realm of heaven is watching how you wait. The maturity you show in this moment determines the magnitude you'll be trusted with next. And let this be your daily affirmation. My name is sealed. My portion is secure. My release cannot be stolen. Say it until the atmosphere hears you. Say it until every lingering doubt is crushed. Say it until your spirit remembers that your protection doesn't come from effort. It comes from covenant. This isn't about winning a fight. It's about not forfeiting your promise. The fight is already won. The enemy's access has already been denied. The only danger now is moving without instruction. But if you stay still, if you stay under covering, what was already deposited will soon be delivered. Type "my stillness is my shield" in the comments if you're choosing protection over panic. Lesson code 8444 now surrounds your atmosphere like fire. You are not the same as you were before. You may still look like the one who struggled. You may still walk in the same places, speak in the same voice, carry the same name, but in the spirit realm, everything about you has shifted. Your identity has been rewritten. Your status hath been upgraded. Your name now echoes differently in the realm of heaven. Archangel Michael speaks this word to your soul. Rise, for you are no longer just a receiver of miracles. You are a carrier of divine overflow. What you thought was a delay was actually a divine transformation. While the check was being deposited in the heavenly system, something greater was being deposited inside of you. Authority, boldness, fire, identity. This miracle is not simply a financial provision. It is a prophetic confirmation that your assignment is changing, your atmosphere is shifting, and your name has weight in the spirit. You've been walking through a wilderness that tried to convince you that nothing was happening. But now, look closely. Look with your spiritual eyes. Your wings are beginning to spread. Your voice is beginning to carry. Your prayers are no longer echoes. They are decrees. You are rising from survival into strategy, from fear into fire, from being overlooked to being overtaken by grace. This is not just about a miracle check. This is heaven validating who you've become. You didn't break. You didn't quit. You didn't walk away when you could have folded under the weight of waiting. And now, the deposit is no longer just in your account. It's in your character. You are no longer fragile. You are fortified. What once wounded you now fuels you. What once delayed you now defines your testimony. Hear this clearly. Your elevation is no longer optional. It is undeniable. And with it comes an authority that cannot be earned by effort, only by endurance. This is the moment where you stop waiting for approval and start walking in appointment. This is the moment where your silence turns into sound, and your hiddenness becomes a stage, not for performance, but for purpose. What you've been carrying in secret will now overflow in public. The check is not just provision, it is confirmation. It is validation. It is heaven's signature over your transformation. You are not being rescued. You are being revealed. What was cultivated in the cave is now emerging with fire. You are stepping into visibility not because you chased it, but because God commanded it. And hear this prophetic word. The weight of this blessing will not crush you because God has already enlarged your capacity to carry it. You are not being given something random. You are being trusted with something royal. And this level of trust is proof that heaven has seen your process and counted you worthy. So walk with your head high, not with pride, but with purpose. Speak with clarity, not with arrogance, but with assignment. Move with confidence, not from ego, but from encounter. Because you are no longer the same. And the blessing that's coming is not a bailout. It's a birthright. You have shifted. You have survived. And now, you will soar. Type "I am walking in my divine identity" in the comments if this word confirms your transformation. Blessing code 9911 has now been stamped upon your elevation. Now hear this, with the weight of heaven behind it. This is not a coincidence. This is not random. This is not luck or chance. This is divine orchestration. This is what the Lord had in mind all along. This is not just a breakthrough. It is a prophetic announcement that your time has come. Archangel Michael declares, the check was sent from heaven's treasury. But the hands it comes through will shock you. God has used an unexpected sender to release an undeniable blessing. You thought you had it figured out. You had your list of possibilities. But the one who sits high and sees all has chosen to release this miracle through a vessel that would defy your expectations. Why? Because God doesn't want you to worship the method. He wants you to marvel at the source. The check that's been deposited in your name is not just currency. It is confirmation. It's not just a transaction. It's a transformation. And here's what you must understand. This release is more than money. It is access. It is authority. It is heaven's announcement that you have been cleared for your next dimension. God is not merely answering a prayer. He is affirming your calling. He is not just providing for a need. He is promoting your name. You've crossed over into a moment where heaven is endorsing you. Not because of perfection, but because of obedience. Not because you earned it, but because you endured for it. This miracle was not triggered by your demand. It was unlocked by your devotion. And now the mystery begins to unfold. Heaven has written your name in the book of release. The angels have retrieved your file. The record is clean. The delay is lifted. The release is confirmed. What was written in secret is now echoing through the Spirit. And those who once doubted your calling will not be able to deny the evidence of this divine move. Archangel Michael says, the name written on the check is yours, but the sender's identity is divine. Heaven sent it, earth is delivering it, and you will know it was God by how impossible the method seems. You will know it was God by the peace that overtakes you when it arrives. You will know it was God by the way your name is remembered in rooms you've never entered. You will know it was God because no one else could have offered this outcome. This is your confirmation. Your name is still in the system. Not one promise has been erased. Not one word has expired. Not one prophecy has been cancelled. Everything God spoke over you is still live in the Spirit, still active in the heavens, still chasing you down with precision and purpose. And this miracle check is heaven's way of declaring, I have not changed my mind about you. So don't question the blessing because it came from an unfamiliar source. Don't second-guess the provision because the package looks different than you imagined. The blessing is real. The signature is divine. The release is unstoppable. Type Heaven knows my name in the comments if you're ready to receive the sender surprise. Blessing code 1616 has now been confirmed over your record. Just as Heaven is using unexpected hands to deliver supernatural blessing, God may be using you right now to unlock revelation for someone else. When you sow into this word, when you support this channel, you are not just giving. You are becoming a vessel of prophetic flow. You are planting seeds into sacred soil that's awakening souls across nations. Like the angelic deposit mentioned today, your giving releases motion in the Spirit. It carries light into dark places. It breaks spiritual droughts. It funds the reach of God's voice to ears that have been waiting for a word. The Lord is whispering to someone now, when you fund what I'm doing, I'll fund what you're becoming. Let your support be a prophetic act. Whether through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, step into divine alignment. Don't just watch this word, move with it. Heaven is watching. Heaven is waiting. Heaven will respond. Heaven is no longer silent. The vault is open. The wind has shifted. And now, the Spirit of the Lord is saying, your destiny is no longer waiting for you to catch up. It is waiting for your yes. There comes a moment in every life where heaven stops speaking in parables and starts moving in power. A moment where destiny demands your attention. That moment is now. This message, this check, this deposit, it is not simply for your comfort. It is a call. It is a divine demand for alignment. What hath been released is not just for you to receive, it's for you to steward. And for that stewardship to begin, you must move. You must respond. You must rise. Archangel Michael speaks now with clarity. The check is not the end. It is the beginning. The miracle is not the destination. It is the door. You were never called to sit at the gate of breakthrough and admire it from afar. You were born to step through it, to carry the glory, to operate in authority, to activate the divine blueprint that has been stamped onto your spirit since before time began. This is the hour where heaven needs your agreement. Not partial, not hesitant, not cautious, but bold, fearless, irrevocable agreement. Heaven is not asking for your perfection. It is asking for your permission. The miracle was heaven's move. Your next step must be Earth's response. Will you activate your destiny or stay standing in spiritual hesitation? Everything has already been set into motion. The check has cleared. The sender has been confirmed. The delay has expired. But heaven will not force you through the next door. You must say yes. You must declare, I am available. You must decree, I am aligned. Your voice unlocks the next dimension. Your faith opens the next seal. Your obedience activates the overflow. You've cried for release, but now release is calling you. You've asked for confirmation, but now confirmation is asking for commitment. The angelic realm is watching your posture. The Spirit of God is hovering over your decision. All of heaven is leaning in, waiting for your next word, because your agreement triggers acceleration. You've waited long enough. You've watched long enough. You've warned long enough. The miracle has come not just to bless you, but to break you out of the old cycles. This isn't just a check. This is a divine instruction wrapped in provision. And what you do next matters more than you realize. It's not about excitement. It's about execution. You don't need another sign. You don't need more time. You need to move. In the Spirit. In obedience. In your decisions. In your declarations. Declare your alignment. Speak to your atmosphere. Tell every opposing voice, I have received it, and now I rise. This is not a rehearsal. This is the release. This is not a preview. This is the fulfillment. The heavens have written your yes into the scrolls. Now let earth hear it. Say yes to the next level. Say yes to the divine assignment. Say yes to walking in the fullness of what has already been deposited. The vaults are open. The heavens are ready. But until you say yes, your destiny waits in silence. Type heaven has my yes in the comments if you're stepping into activation now. Blessing code 4477 has been released over your next move. Let the listener hear with spiritual ears now, for a holy exchange is taking place in realms unseen. The silence you've endured was never empty. The waiting was never wasted. The tears you cried in rooms where no one noticed. Those tears watered the soil of a supernatural deposit. And now, without noise, without announcement, heaven is finalizing a transfer that has your name etched in eternal ink. Archangel Michael stands in the center of the transaction, sword drawn, flame upon his wings, standing watch over a record that has just been sealed. This is not a courtroom. This is a treasury. This is not a meeting. This is a divine wire transfer in the spirit realm. You will hear the clinking of coins or the ringing of bells. But make no mistake, the wealth of heaven is moving, and it is moving toward you. In the spirit, there is a table, a place where angels gather, where accounts are settled, where destinies are reviewed. And on this table, your name appeared, not because you demanded it, but because you endured. Not because you were loud, but because you were faithful. And now, the Holy One who sees in secret has commanded that what was once held in waiting is to be released in fullness. Listen carefully. While others saw nothing changing, heaven was calculating. While people assumed your prayers were delayed, heaven was recalibrating the weight of what you're now ready to carry. There are heavenly accountants, spiritual scribes, and angelic couriers who have been working on your behalf, collecting prayers like currency, gathering tears like seeds, and organizing every moment of faith into a ledger of fulfillment. This exchange is not sudden, it is sovereign. You did not miss your moment. You were being matured for it. You did not lose your blessing. You were being protected from premature release. This is not just provision, it's repayment. Not just an answer, it's restoration. There are backlogged blessings, delayed answers, and ancient promises that are being bundled into one divine exchange. And it is happening now. Not loudly, not with spectacle, but silently, securely, and supernaturally. In this moment, heaven has whispered your name to the right hands. You won't need to chase this blessing. You won't need to explain your way into rooms. You won't need to strive or strategize. This miracle will locate you, because the paperwork in heaven has already been signed. The scroll has already been stamped. The angels have already been dispatched. Your obedience triggered a transfer that was always meant to find you, right on time, not a second too late. The check may appear in physical form. It may come as a contract, a call, an opportunity, an unexpected release. But make no mistake, its origin is not of this world. You are living in the evidence of a spiritual exchange that began before the foundations of time. And now it is colliding with your timeline. That sudden peace you feel, that lightness in your chest, that unexpected clarity in your thoughts. It's not random, it's residue from the Spirit. You are feeling the wind of angels moving on your behalf. You are sensing the echo of heaven's approval. Something sacred has shifted. And even before the physical shows up, the spiritual transaction has already been made. So, remain in reverence. Speak with honor. Wait with expectation. Because the silent exchange is complete, and what was once promised is now preparing to manifest before your very eyes. Type "the exchange is complete" in the comments if your spirit feels the weight of this word. Lesson code 3033 has now been issued over your atmosphere. What the enemy tried to block is now returning to them tenfold, and heaven is releasing what rightfully belongs to you. There is a divine judgment being issued right now, not in a courtroom of men, but in the court of the Most High. And Archangel Michael has stepped forward with the scales of heaven in his hand. For every delay, there is now recompense. For every loss, there is now recovery. For every battle you had to fight in silence, there is now a public vindication being prepared. This is not just your breakthrough. This is your reversal. Understand this. Spiritual justice is not a fantasy. It is a system. It is order. And the God you serve is not just merciful. He is righteous. He has watched, in silence, while others spoke against you. He has allowed, for a time, certain injustices to play out, not because he agreed with them, but because he was building a testimony that would make it impossible to deny his hand when he moved. And now, he is moving. What was stolen is being demanded back. What was withheld is being forcefully released. The hand that tried to sabotage your inheritance is now the evidence that proves you were chosen. The same ones who questioned your anointing are about to witness your acceleration. But hear this clearly. This is not about revenge. It is about divine reversal. God is not petty. He is precise. And when he lifts you, he does it in such a way that no one can say it was by human strategy. Every accusation sent to poison your name has been intercepted by heaven's legal system. Every delay, every detour, every season of drought is now being confronted by angelic justice. Archangel Michael says, the verdict is in. The reversal has been approved. You are not just being compensated, you are being vindicated. Even now, angels are being dispatched to reverse what was spoken against you. Assignments sent to bind your momentum are being cancelled in real time. Chains you didn't even know were wrapped around your progress are breaking in the unseen. God is not just making a way, He is clearing a path. And in that reversal, do not be surprised when the very ones who doubted you begin to need you. Do not be shocked when the same tables that excluded you now beg for your presence. This is the hour where the last shall be first. The forgotten shall be favored. The dismissed shall be declared. What seemed delayed was only hidden, and what was hidden is now being handed over. This is your spiritual justice. Not earned but decreed. Not requested, but written in the records of heaven. Every enemy of your assignment has now been placed under review, and every loss is being transformed into leverage. Heaven has ruled in your favor, and now the earth must respond. Let this word settle in your bones. God is not just turning the page, He is flipping the entire narrative. You were never forgotten. You were being positioned for a reversal that would silence every accusation and shake the very foundation of your destiny. To walk with holy boldness, stand with sacred confidence, because what was meant to break you has now become the reason heaven is blessing you. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you believe the divine reversal has already begun. Lesson code 7744 is now manifesting over your life. Today, September 11th, heaven has confirmed a prophetic deposit in your life. The day began like any other, but in the spirit realm, a shift occurred. Archangel Michael declared the investigation complete. What was pending is now proceeding. What was concealed is now uncovered. The spiritual bank executive has cleared your name. The vault has been accessed. The miracle check, heaven-sized, favor-stamped, eternity-backed, has not only been deposited under your name, it is now being released. This message was not for the many. It was for the few, for the faithful, for the ones who did give up when nothing made sense, for the ones who stayed still when chaos called, for the ones who waited when the world mocked. You were not forgotten. You were hidden, not denied, protected. And now, you are about to be revealed, not as a seeker, but as an inheritor. Not as a beggar, but as a builder. The reversal has been ruled. The silence has been sanctified. The fire has been passed. The test has been completed. And now the reward is not far off. It is close. It is moving. It is arriving. So I declare over you now, peace over your mind, security over your destiny, clarity over your path, favor over your name, strength over your next decision. Your feet are ordered. Your heart is guarded. Your future is drenched in oil. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking into fulfillment. And when you receive what's coming, it will not be small. It will not be partial. It will not be random. It will be undeniable evidence that God had his hand on you all along. So I charge you with this final affirmation. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Now rise. Type "I am walking into fulfillment" in the comments if you feel this word was written with your name on it. Blessing code 9999 is your confirmation. As we close this prophetic message, remember, just as God used a mysterious sender to release a divine deposit in your name, he may be calling you now to become a sender for someone else. Your support of this ministry isn't just generosity, it's prophecy fulfilled. Every gift, every seed, every offering you release becomes a bridge for someone else's breakthrough. When you give, you help carry this word into timelines that desperately need it. You become the unexpected sender, the anonymous angel, assigned to deliver hope, healing, and heaven's truth to strangers who are hanging on by a thread. The Lord is saying, when you give to what I've touched, I will touch what you've given. Whether it's through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, let your giving be a prophetic act of obedience. Don't just witness the word. Join the mission. Send the blessing. Sow into the movement of God. Your seed has power, and heaven takes notice.